Today we're talking Stranger Things trailer talk. Welcome to Screens in Focus, the podcast where we talk about TV and movies. I'm Diana. Sam is here. Hi, Sam. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really good. I am so thrilled for this conversation and to talk about the trailer because season 5 is dropping tomorrow. And this trailer just puts us right into it, right? Right into the mystery, the fear, just the friendships and everything else. So Sam and I are going to talk about our first impressions. We're going to talk about what relates to the previous seasons and the moments that hit us the hardest. In saying that, Sam, what was your first impression after seeing this trailer?
I'm very excited, but I think I'm equally as nervous. I think I'm ready for the epic conclusion, but not ready for the heartbreak that comes with it. The stakes, the stakes are so high for this season because everything's coming to an end. There's not going to be another season. At least, there's not going to be like another season for us to be like, well, it's okay. That'll resolve later. It has to get all wrapped up now.
Right.
What hits me is just how much is on the line this time. You could see that like any choice that they make could change everything. And that makes it so intense. What do you think?
Yeah, of course, I'm so excited, but I'm also afraid, like you said, because we see them embracing and we see fear coming from them. And so what does that mean? I mean, that's a reaction to something that's happening. And I don't know if I'm ready for that. I don't want to lose anyone. So yes, very fearful, very excited. There's some fun stuff that we see. And I love that we see a lot of reunions. A lot of people are back together. And yeah, the stakes are really high. And so in saying that, I also want to talk about why we love Stranger Things. So share with all of us and with me what really hits you.
I think it's just like the nostalgia of the 80s. I wasn't really alive for much of the 80s. I was born in 89 in October, so not that much. But I just think I've seen enough like movies and my parents talk about it. And the vibes are just everything. The 80s vibes, like the playing outside reminds me a lot of like my childhood. Like we didn't have to come home
Yeah.
until like the streetlights were on or we heard like the fire whistle. So it just reminds me of like my childhood, I think. And then I also love it because there are so many mysteries. Like, one will get like wrapped up but then it's almost like a Hydra head. Like one will be wrapped up, but don't worry, there's another one like coming up behind it.
Yeah.
And it's so creepy and it's so scary. Like the Demogorgon, the Demodogs, Vecna himself, like his design is I swear, like whoever does like the subtitles probably had to come up with like different words because squelching is one that's commonly there. It's like wet walking, and I'm like, whoa. But it's just so good though.
That's hilarious. I think when we were rewatching it, we were having comments about the subtitles and what it said. And it's so funny because I'm thinking, who comes up with these words? Because they're so good at figuring out what word to say. Because I would never know. I just know the sound and what it makes me feel. But to describe it, I love it. I love that it gives us those terms. And I adore the 80s vibe. That is just hits me. I love it. The music is fantastic. The friendships, the love between all the characters. I think that is one of the biggest things because I'm watching it just recently, all the seasons. I'm just powering through it. And that's what sticks out to me now that I'm able to watch it all together. It's the love. We see the love, and the fact that these young people are able to portray that on screen is incredible. So I love all the actors in this. And you're right, the mystery and the horror and the ties to D&D. It's just, it feels all nostalgic, which is another huge highlight for me. And the intelligence of these kids, because they're smart and they're strategic and they're adaptable. And I love that about all of them. So were there any callbacks to the earlier seasons that you saw, like any visuals or any moments or character beats that connected to seasons 1 through 4?
I think one of the things that I've noticed is that every season we get more info on the Upside Down. And I can remember the first time like I had seen the Upside Down, it was this crazy world that looked kind of like ours, but there were differences and it was gross and all this stuff. And then as like the seasons go on, we get more and more like it's all of like Hawkins. Is it the entire world? Like I want to know like more about that. I'm excited that the boys are back to maybe playing like maybe not playing like the D&D, but they're using like the D&D strategies. And I'm excited for them to bring that back because that's such like a just like a nostalgic thing. Like my husband, he played it for like 10 years with like the same a group of people. And I know how like those relationships and bonds are. So it's just nice to like see that back. And I was excited to see that Dustin was wearing the Hellfire Club, which made me sad because I'm going to miss Eddie. And I've heard that there's no way he's coming back. So that's
heard that too.
But I think that's fine, I guess. I'm excited to see that like 11 is practicing with her powers. She seems to be like aiming it at stuff and just like we see her like fly in the thing, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
And Murray, I just love Murray. He's a weirdo. He is right about a lot of things. And I'm excited to see him team up with people.
Yeah. I love that we see the full circle with Will because Will wasn't, season 1. And here we are. Vecna is using him, which we're going to talk about a little bit further, but it's just that whole full circle moment with Will. It's such a concentration on him and his character. What's funny that just came to me recently was the Back to the Future energy, because in the earlier seasons, they go to the movies and they're seeing Back to the Future and they reference it when they're at the video store. And then in this, I saw another trailer about Volume 1 and it showed them in a car with equipment on top of the vehicle, which is the same as in Back to the Future, right? When they,
so
I've
never seen that movie, so I don't know.
Oh my God. What? Okay, Sam, that is your job. Oh my gosh. That is one of my most favorite 80s films ever. In fact, I've watched it. It's probably the most movie I've ever watched also, because you can rewatch it over and over and over and over again. That is your job. I'm going to check on you. You watched it. Sam, have you watched Back to the Future yet? It's so good, but it's, yes, so it's reminiscent. I'm not reminiscent, but there's just a piece of it that reminded me of that movie and that they talk about it earlier in the seasons. Yeah, 11 with her powers again, right? Because most of season 4, she didn't have them. So she's back with her powers and they seem very strong. Yeah, we see her jump and it looks like she's flying through the air, which is crazy. I'm like, whoa, which we see Vecna do too, right? So, yeah, they're going to go toe to toe here. And yeah, that the team is back together. I love seeing them work together separately. Like, I think that's a really cool dynamic that we see on film because we see normally 3 different groups of people and 3 different groups of 3 different locations. And so now I think it's like, okay, it's all leading to this. And now they are all going to get to fight together. So I love that. Let's talk about the characters and the relationships. And did anything stand out to you in watching the trailer?
I'm just excited to see like the core 4 back together again. Cause like over the years, they've never really like broken up, but they've, fought with each other and like been separated just by like the circumstances and things like that. So I'm excited that they're here together and we see them, they're making a plan over a map, which is kind of like how they did when they were playing with the D&D map in the first, when we first got to know them. I'm excited to see Max and Lucas. We can see him rescuing her, which seems to put both of them and whoever's with them in like a ton of danger, which that makes me so nervous. And they're doing a pretty good job of keeping like Max away from most of the trailer. So I think that, she's in a coma, so she's not going to be doing too much, but I feel like her safety is up in the air there. And I think in the one trailer I saw that was Robin and Murray were working together as a team. And that just brings me joy for some reason because I think they would have good conversation and banter. So I'm hoping we'll get to see them like interact a ton. So I think they were doing like a similar thing with like the antenna on the car, like the radio station, I think. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I want to bring up that radio station. Have we seen that radio station before? Oh,
I
we
don't think we've
have.
seen
Okay.
like a full like pan out of like the full station, but we've seen them on the roof and like in there, I think. Because I think that's like
Because that
outside of Hawkins, I think.
well, also that seems to be where the trailer concentrates on. Because Will talks about it's almost like they're in a facility where they are, with the military around there, and kind of like, it almost feels like they're not allowed to leave, maybe. I'm not really sure what the
Oh, yeah.
circumstances are. So I feel like, is it for their protection? Is it for, what is it? Like, why are they there? Because earlier, before that, we see Dustin walking through the halls of Hawkins, right? But then they show the other scene. So I'm like, what's happening? Like, how, but of course it's through the whole season, right? We're going to see, this is the whole season trailer that we're talking about here. So it may move from different locations. I know what I wanted to bring up was the Hellfire t-shirt that you had mentioned, seeing Dustin wear it, and what a throwback to the earlier seasons and to Eddie. Oh, one of my favorite characters. And like I said, I'm rewatching this and I'm almost done. I've got the 2 main episodes that I still have left to watch and finish right before tomorrow when everything drops. So I'm watching that tonight. But I want to get one of those t-shirts. So hopefully the next time we record on volume 1, hopefully I'm wearing it. If not, maybe volume 2. We'll see. But I hope to wear a Hellfire t-shirt. So let's hope that comes true. But the relationships that stood out to me, I love seeing Eleven and Hopper back together. Again, they weren't together last season. She doesn't even know he's alive. She's still, so many of them were apart having their own storyline. So I love that they're back together. It's father-daughter bond. Also, Jonathan and Nancy, because they were not together last season either. And so it'll be good to see them. I love that in real life, they're together and they have been all this time. I think that's
they are
so cool. Sorry.
They are, and their stunt doubles are, and there's like three different couples that play them, and like including them, they're all together. And they have been since like,
that's crazy.
It's bonkers. Maybe it's just them and like their stunt doubles, but it's like, but they both have been together since like day one. And like, it's so funny though.
That is. That's very, very cool though. I didn't know that. Wow. That's so nice. I love hearing that. I also love like you said, the group dynamics. They're all back together. They're not just bonded. They're strategic. They're coordinated. They're fierce. So the groups, just everybody being back together again. I'm excited for it. Did you notice anyone that was missing? Because at first I thought Steve was missing, but then I do remember seeing Steve hugging Dustin, I think. So they did show him. And then, they barely show Max. She's being carried by Lucas. And I'm trying to think did we see very much of Joyce?
Not really. Joyce, Erica.
Oh, we did see Erica say one, she like turns and says one thing, I think.
Yeah, she's real sassy about it.
Or maybe that was in the second trailer I saw. That might have been in the second trailer. I think it was the second one. Oh, the one with volume 1. I think I did see her in that. But you're right. I didn't see her in the first one. Yeah, because I felt like there were a few people that I didn't really see. So it'll be interesting to see. Oh, my goodness. Okay. What themes stood out to you in this trailer?
I think for me that, like, just having, like, your friendships pretty much is everything. Like, even in the trailer, like, we don't really, like, the kids rarely rely on, like, their families during these, like, adventures and times. They just rely on each other. And I think you had mentioned earlier, like, having a found family is so important. Mhm. And so I think that's just, like, a really big theme within, like, the entire show. And I think there's the classic good versus evil. We know good will probably win, but at what cost? And is
Right.
that cost gonna
Right.
be worth it? I mean, obviously, it probably will because the whole world's probably gonna end, but, like, at the same time, I think one of the things is just looking at the trailer and seeing the characters and how they've grown. There's a lot of, like, growth and transformation. Like,
Mm.
in my opinion, Steve has one of the best redemption arcs.
Yeah.
The first time we meet him, I'm like, "Oh, what a little snot. I wanna slap him in the face." And now I'm like, "If he dies, I'm not watching the show again."
After season 5, I'm done.
Yeah, I'm done. If they kill him off, I'm not watching another one. And I think too, like, even though, like, 11 didn't have her powers for a lot of, like, the last time, I think it's just they have grown. Like, when she loses them, it's like a mental block, which we can all relate to sometimes, other times it's not. But I feel like it's just nice to see how, as she grows up, her confidence grows, which means her powers grow, I think. And I just, yeah, I like her. I want her to be confident, just be
Yeah.
okay.
As you were talking, another
Mhm.
theme popped up that hadn't occurred to me, but it's bullying. Bullying
Yep.
is in this a lot. We see it in previous seasons. And sorry, we're talking about the trailer, but I couldn't help but bring it up because I with watching it back, more recently, there is just so much bullying happening to
Mhm.
all of these
Kids.
kids and people and even adults, really. And I think that makes it so relatable. And it's interesting because I'm going to relate this to another one of my favorite TV series besides The Walking Dead, is Cobra Kai. Because Cobra Kai
Mhm.
has to do a lot with that, with bullying and friendships and having each other's backs and growth and all that. And so, yes, I see that in Stranger Things. So it seems to be something that I think people, as gravitate toward, because you want that underdog to win and to come out
Mhm.
ahead. So yeah, so it's just, I'm sorry, that just came across as you were talking, but in the particular trailer, we do see again that full circle destiny of Will. It started with Will, it's going to end with Will. He's so key, he's so pivotal, along with L11. And we see power and sacrifice and burdens. I mean, Elle is burning through her strength, meaning I always wondered about their
Mhm.
nosebleeds. I always felt like even though all of them that have this power, all their nosebleeds, I always felt like that was taking away from them. Like they were dying in a way or something.
Mhm.
They've never mentioned that, but I always felt like the more power you use, that it's going to take something out of you. And like, are you going to be able to come back from that? I mean, it makes me think
Mhm.
that they have, like I said, they haven't talked about that, but it always makes me wonder. And we see that like Max is just barely holding on. I mean, first last season she died, she was brought back to life, and now she's in a coma.
So isn't there supposed to be like a time jump? Because the kids, like, they're supposed to explain it, like, because the kids don't look like they're, like, 13 anymore. So, like,
Exactly.
has
I
she
would
been in
think
this
there's a
coma
time
the whole
jump.
time?
I wondered the same thing. So it makes me wonder about that. But it's like, what are people willing to do to protect each other? I think that's a
Mhm.
very big theme in this. And also friends as the ultimate weapon. You got love, loyalty, found family, which, you had brought up too. And will they beat the monsters? Will they do it? Because we're pulling for them that they will. Also coming of age in the face of horror. There's so much that happened, so much that we want to break down, but let's get to our rapid fire. So, Sam, I'm going to ask you a few questions. We have 4 listed here, and you're just going to give me whatever comes to mind. Okay. So, in this trailer, what was the most shocking or surprising moment?
I was shocked that we saw that Will's gonna be grabbed by Vecna. That's like, I was shocked that he was on the surface. Just like, oh. Then I thought Will was dead, which was another like terrifying thing. Yeah, I think that was the most. I was gagged, as the kids say.
Yeah, I was trying to think of a different one, and nothing's popping to my mind, so I have to go with what came first, and it is Will on the ground and Vecna raising him up, bringing him toward him, says, "You're going to help me one last time." And I'm like, "Holy shit!" Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay, what was the most emotional moment you saw?
I think it was when so we're in the hospital and Lucas, he looks terrified as he's rescuing Max because the demo dog is like, it's like he's behind like a cabinet and the demo dog's on like the other side and he's trying not to make no, I don't know. And I'm just like, oh, and Max can't really help herself. And that's just a whole other like, I was like very emotional about it because I love those characters. Yeah.
It's so hard to pick one because there's three that come to mind. One is Lucas, one is Dustin and Steve hugging, but I think I'm going to go with Nancy because she's like feels like she's really breaking down, and I'm like, why? Why is she breaking down like that? What happened? That is, she just feels so something's happened or happening, and it's very, very scary. So okay, wait, I have 4. See, I have too many. It's also 11 and Mike, and 11 saying this isn't one of your campaigns where you can write the ending. I thought that was so emotional. Maybe not like crying emotion, but maybe more of a fear emotion. I don't know. That like scared me. So that was the emotion that I felt.
I think for me, when you were describing that, it's like she's a teenager being faced with like her own mortality almost. And it's like, it's no longer a joke. And she's like the first one to kind of like admit that maybe I know like everyone knows that this is like a serious thing, but I feel like she's the first one to like at least in the trailer, she's the first one to be like, no, this is life and death. Like you can't, the emotion.
Yeah. Okay. Which character are you most worried about?
Steve.
I am.
I feel like he's not gonna make it, but I also feel like it has to be him or Jonathan that goes in the classic like love triangle like angle of it all. Like one of them has probably gotta die. And I think Steve, because he's such like
me, Sam.
I know. I'm not ready. Like I'm not ready for this. Like I'm not ready. Yeah, and I think I'm most worried about Steve. Do we have the same fears?
All right. Well, I'm speechless. No, I hadn't even thought about it. I was just going to say Will. I was afraid for Will just because of what he has to go through. And I'm most worried about him, but how will he be used and what will that do, to him?
Mm-hmm.
And in saying that, it makes me think about Elle. Oh my gosh. I am afraid for all of them. There's not one person I'm worried about. And the reason, okay, so Eddie we loved Eddie last season, right? And we were like so devastated. But the rest of the characters, they've been here since season 1. So if anything happens to any of them, it is going to be heartbreaking because we've known them, yes, through 5 seasons, but it's a lot more years than that. And that's going to be hard.
And I feel like it may not be them, like the person who's dying that makes it hard, but the reactions of everyone around them is going to make it hard for me to watch because they're all going to be heartbroken. Yeah. They may not have a chance to like properly like say goodbye if they're in the middle of like a battle and they may have to leave behind someone, and that's heartbreaking. I'm not ready.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, one character who's going to surprise us.
I think it's going to be Will. I think there has to be a reason that he was taken in the beginning. I feel like so I don't know what he's going to do, but I feel like he's going to surprise us.
That is a really good answer, and I love it. I love it. I'm trying to think of, I think that's the best answer as well, but I'm trying to think, is anyone else going to surprise us? Oh man, it's hard to top that one because I think you're spot on it. So I agree with you on that, but I'm going to throw out Steve in this because I think he's going to do something to save his and protect his friends, and I don't know. I kind of think maybe it'd be him. And I don't know why in the back of my mind, actually, one of my favorite characters, I'm going to ask you this in a second. One of my favorite characters in all of this is Mike. I love Mike for so many reasons. And so will Mike do something that'll be different or help save the people? I don't know. I'm curious to see what he does. Do you have a favorite character?
Probably Steve, if I'm honest. I feel like because I loved that he was a jerk face in most of season 1. And then he realizes that there's more to, that there's other things to be worried about. And he kind of he's not necessarily a bully, but he's not a bully. And I think I've just grown attached to him growing and not being a jerk.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be his downfall, is that he's going to feel the need to save people because Jonathan and Nancy are together. The core 4 have each other, Max and Elle.
Yeah.
And he's kind of the only one that doesn't really have anything. And I think he's going to take a look at that and say, I should sacrifice myself for all these people. That's going to break my heart.
Exactly. Yes. That was what made me say that he might be the one to surprise us, because he is the only one who doesn't have. I mean, he's really close to Dustin, though, but
and Robin.
So that's going to be so hard to see. Oh my gosh, there's so much. I cannot wait for Volume 1. All right, we're going to give our what we think about the big picture. But before we do that, I want to invite our listeners out there. If you have any answers to our rapid fire or to anything that we've talked about, reach out to us and leave us a comment wherever you're watching or listening. If you need to get to any of our social media, it's all at screensinfocus.com, which is in our show notes, so you can get to that easily. You can even call us, which we would love. And you can reach us at 669-223-8542. That is also in our show notes. All right. So before we wrap up, what do you think season 5 is setting up for? What do you think the big picture is here, Sam?
I think that for season 5, I think it's going to set up the actual end game, the truth behind the Upside Down. We're going to see a final fight with Vecna, and we're going to see the moment these characters stop being kids and step away and I'm going to cry. I'm tearing up thinking about these poor kids. But they're going to come out of this completely changed, and whatever happens, there's no going back to the way that it was, which I think is just growing up and all that kind of stuff without the Demodogs and Demogorgons and all that. Yeah. And so I'm really excited. And I think it sets up also the bigger part of the universe where you can see maybe there's other, because she does have a bunch of siblings. So maybe in the future we could get something else, not quite with these kids, but something else. I don't know.
Wow. Yeah. So season 5 is definitely setting up for the final battle, Hawkins versus the Upside Down. And we see every thread from the past finally collide. It's definitely a showdown that decides the fate of everyone, including the kids that have carried it. So, and as you were talking about the kids, and I had mentioned earlier, but it really is, it is that coming of age and everything that we see. But we saw this in season 1, how young they were and what the age they are now. They're all adults in, real life, but they're playing younger. But to see them and see them from kids to now, I feel like because we saw them as kids, because we see them now, it feels like we've been there so long. Like with the adults, yeah, we've been there with a long time, but they're already adults. So it doesn't feel as long, right? Because they don't change as much. So, but to witness these kids from how young they were, even 11 being so young and what she looks like now, it's like, oh, it's like we're a part of them. We've grown up with them. We've seen them. We know what that's like. And so, and just like with any characters that we, in shows that we love, we just stay connected, just like The Walking Dead, right? We have grown with those characters for 12, 13, 14, 15 years almost now with all the spinoffs. So it's like we're in it with these characters. So yeah, so these kids mean so much to us. So we can't wait to dig into volume 1. I want to bring up real quick. I heard 2 theories that are out there, and one is Max's consciousness is possibly trapped, and maybe she could come back with new abilities, and or maybe she can spy on Vecna because she's connected to him in some way. So that's one theory that's out there. The other one is that I actually thought Vecna was the leader and the Mind Flayer and all the Demogorgons and Nemodogs were under him, but I guess it could be the Mind Flayer is the ultimate and Vecna is his 5-star general, which is what Dustin said in season 4. So I don't know. I don't know who's the main entity here. So I just thought that was interesting that I had come across those theories. You have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think so. So we see Elle push Vecna when he's like human, and or she pushes him like up against the wall or whatever, and he goes into the upside down. Are you so could the Mind Flayer have already been in the upside down and Vecna just kind of
maybe.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know what they're thinking of, but right, this has probably existed before this current time. So, like when he gets pushed in, is he pushed in and creates a new world, or was that world already there and who was manning it before he went in there? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my mind starts thinking, all these things. I don't know. So
like, I think at first, early on, I thought maybe Elle, not that she would do anything, not that she was aware of any of that, because she also helped to create the upside down. I'm not saying she has anything to do with it, but I feel like, could she? Not in any bad way, but could she be subconsciously, because they get out of some really hairy situations, and I'm like, no, there's no way they're getting out of this. And then boom, Elle, or somebody appears and they're saved. I don't know. I don't think it's a bad thing. I just think maybe she's more in tune than she realizes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, so much excitement. Volume 1 drops November 26th, 4 episodes. Volume 2, December 25th, Christmas. What a present. Yay! 3 episodes. And then the finale will be December 31st, the final episode. Oh my gosh. This is so funny because I know where I'm going to be out in the holidays for sure. And it's such a gift, seriously, to me because I love the series so much. But I'm thinking, what about people that are out of town? People that have things to do. I don't know. I feel sorry for them because they're going to have to wait to watch it. But it is there for people to watch afterwards too. So anyway, all right. Do you have any last thoughts, or we're good?
We're good.
We're good because we have so much to talk about in volume 1. So we'll be back. So remember to come back because Sam and I will be here to break down each volume after it drops. So stay tuned. All right. Do you have any other TV or movie recommendations for everyone?
I've been watching The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives on Hulu. Not big into reality TV, but these ladies just love them. I don't love them, but I love the drama, I think. I've also been watching Jack Reacher on Prime. And then it, which is Welcome to Derry on HBO. And that's It takes place in the Stephen King universe. Are you watching that?
I've only seen the first episode. I haven't tuned in any further.
It's pretty good. It's pretty scary, I think. Last night, my husband and I watched It's Ghost of Mars. We watched it on Tubi. It's from like 2001. It's got Natasha Henstridge, Ice Cube, and it's like it's like a sci-fi thing. It takes place on Mars and the whole thing, but it was meant to be a sequel to Escape from LA, which is maybe Kurt Russell. I don't know. I've seen Escape from New York, but it's like
yes. Oh, I was gonna say Escape from New York. I mean, I knew when you said Escape from, it sounded familiar, but I'm thinking of Escape from New York. Yeah,
yeah. And then there's one from LA, and then this one was meant to be like another one. And I don't know why it didn't, but it's like it's so 2000s. Like the action, the costumes, just all of it. It's one of my favorites. We probably watch it every like 5 to 10 years. Highly recommend. And then there's a documentary that I watched called The Perfect Neighbor. It's on Netflix. It's a must-see. It's depressing and will make you think, but it's just really good.
Yeah.
But I highly recommend that
I've
too.
heard about it. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it. So,
What about you? What are you watching?
I am watching The Last Frontier on Apple TV Plus, and the last few episodes have had me gripped. I'm like, holy crap. Jason Clarke is in this. We have talked about it, Sam, before. So it's ramping up. I can feel that it's ramping up probably to the finale soon. So I'm enjoying it. Palm Royale season 2 is back. I love this show. I don't know who all is watching, but if not, you need to watch it. It's so funny. I am such a fan of Kristen Wiig and everybody else that's in it, but she is so hilarious to me. I just love it. And it's so good. It's funny, it's hilarious, and it's so good. And you need to tune in if you're not watching it. I've seen Frankenstein on Netflix. Have you seen this yet, Sam?
Not yet, but soon though.
Okay. It's very good. We had talked about it in a previous podcast episode, but I'm a big fan of Guillermo del Toro and what he does. And you can feel his passion pouring out. The imagery is the most beautiful thing I have ever seen on screen. It's like he is just a master at what he does, in the colors. And when you see, it's very graphic. So when there are gruesome moments, it's very melodramatic. It's romantic. It's haunting. It hits your heart. Jacob Elordi is incredible. I did not go to watch him. Oscar Isaac is the person that I was watching, and Guillermo del Toro, but Jacob Elordi just like blew me away. And all the other supporting actors are good. It's just a great film. It is very different. It's a little bit different. So I think for some people, it might not click for them, but I'm into the beauty of it all. So it did for me. Also, sometimes you have to step away from it, watch it and step away. And then it sits in your brain. And then you're like, oh yeah. So it's one of those. Also, I just recently watched rewatch The Rise of the Planet of the Apes. It's one of my favorite of that whole franchise. And it's so good. It's such a good film. I love it. So, and also, if you are into the holidays already, a Very Jonas Christmas movie is out. I watched it. I liked it. It was funny. It made me laugh. They may kind of pick out themselves, who you would think kind of each of their personalities might be. And I liked it. It put me in the holiday spirit. I think it's a good watch. It has good music because they're singing. So yeah, those are my recommendations. All right. That's a wrap. Sam, we did it. We did the trailer talk. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me. As always, it's a joy.
It's always a joy to have you here. I have so much fun talking with you. Can't wait to talk about as each volume comes to us. So I'm so grateful that you're here to share it with me. Thank you, Sam. And thank you, all of you, for joining us. We're so grateful that you joined us. And we hope that we said something that gave you some thoughts. And if you want to share anything with us, please do so. And remember to follow Screens in Focus at screensandfocus.com. and keep watching, keep exploring, and keep those screens in focus. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.